Hey, what's up, guys? It's Scarra here from theScore eSports here with Darshan after a 2-0. First of all, I thought it'd be a little bit closer or a little bit like cleaner of a series. The second game went fairly close. What are your general thoughts about the games?
We've been playing better, but I think we are still making a lot of mistakes, and there's a lot we need to clean up in closing out games. I think we did a pretty good job of getting leads in both games, but what we didn't do is close out the games well, and then we made mistakes getting caught out and things like that. So I think there's just a lot of mistakes by both teams, and then we made less mistakes, and we played a bit cleaner towards the end of the game.
So one of the questions I've always wanted to ask you is that I felt that in the splits leading up to like now, where you were on CLG, one of the biggest improvements from you has been your teleport play. I thought coming in, your teleport play wasn't that good, and then your teleport play became really, really good leading up to MSI. This split, however, I feel like you've kind of regressed. Is there really any kind of explanation for that, or is that just my own thoughts?
I think it's just the champions I play. So, for example, at MSI, when it's Poppy, Echo, Maokai, it's really easy to like flank TP or TP in on a tank. But if I'm playing a split pusher like Fiora or Aurelia and I'm really squishy, I have to be really smart about how I teleport. So I think it's just the way I teleport on the champions I play just makes my teleport flanks and my teleport usage a lot worse as opposed to if I was playing Hecarim or Poppy or something like that. So I think it's just shifting champions and shifting styles, like maybe not using my TP the best on those specific champions. So yeah, I'd say my TP usage has gotten a little bit worse.
So the first game you did play a champion like Aurelia. You played Aurelia. Um, how, how do you feel like that first game went? Because you ended up getting a Baron taken from you guys, and it became kind of a close game. Both games are kind of close. How did it get to that point?
So I think NV is like one of those teams that won't just like fall down and die and lose. So every single time we make a play, they're trying to counter with a play. So they're definitely one of the harder teams to play against in the LCS, and I feel like they're kind of constantly fighting back. So I think when we slipped up, they kind of took advantage of that, and we didn't really play to our pick comp style, and we didn't really fully utilize that to the best. So we were the ones getting picked out at some points. They were able to sneak a Baron was the biggest thing, and we weren't on top of that. So it was just like mainly the Baron, I would say, and just not being on top of what objectives they're going for. And I think if we just played a little bit cleaner, then it would have just been like a complete, not a complete stomp, but it would have been like a really smooth game. But them getting the Baron and things like that just really made this game and the series harder.
So talk to me a little bit about your comps. You've ran Thresh twice today to add a more pick-oriented style into your comps. What made Thresh so appealing to you guys? You're probably the only team that plays Thresh right now that's not C9.
So I think Afro just has like a really big champion pool, and he's not afraid to pull anything out. And he thought Thresh was good against what they'd pick, so we just went for it, and he just popped off.
Um, okay, let's go a little bit into the second game. You guys ended up sieging, and you weren't able to do anything with your enormous lead. What happened during the game? How'd you guys adapt?
So yeah, we basically got a super huge lead, and then all we needed to do was split push, but we kept trying to team fight them when I was like Fiora against Trundle. So we kind of just like threw a huge lead that we had a little bit, and then made the game a lot closer. They got Baron again, I think, and then they had Caitlyn Lulu, which is pretty dumb. So it just got to the point where they outscaled us, and we didn't use our early game lead. So it just came down to getting one hook, and then Afro makes a big play, and the rest is history. But yeah, I think pretty disappointed with how I played this series and like I guess the last couple of weeks because I feel like my play could be a lot cleaner, but I'm just striving to get better every game and just really get back on form for playoffs.
Speaking about Afromu's big plays, a lot of people criticize COG saying that they need Afromu to be on a playmaker for you guys to win games. By MSI, Afro was playing a decent amount of Janna, but recently I feel like he switched to more playmaking supports. Do you feel like that's a crutch for your team, or just that he's amazingly good on these playmakers?
Well, I think it just depends on playing what's best because there was a time where Afro was just playing Soraka every game, and then teams had to ban like Soraka, Caitlyn, and like some other support against us. Every game was like a range support. So Soraka has literally no playmaking ability, but we were still beating teams like RNG and SKT. Like it doesn't matter if Afro's on playmakers. Sure, it's great, but we'll just play what's best. And if he thinks Thresh is good, then we'll go for it. But I think we're good to playing any engage style or any way, like pick, poke, catch, whatever, but it just depends on us being comfortable on the champions, really.
So before I would say your style is more 1-3-1 ish. Would you say your current style you're just more flexible, more adaptive?
I would say like last split 1-3-1 was the best, like one of the better ways to play the game. But right now you can kind of play the game 1-3-1, 4-1, even like just 5-man death ball. It just depends on what comp you go for because I feel like right now more than ever, a lot of different styles are viable. So you can really run anything. It just depends on what your players are comfortable on. I feel like now more than ever, you see people playing Gnar top, Talia top, just like even Maokai top still. People just play anything really as long as they're comfortable on it and it's good in the situation. So I feel like there's a lot of flexibility in comps and styles, and teams can really show how they want to play the game.
Uh, I just talked to the Immortals coach, and he said Huni has like a extremely large champion pool. Are you one of those players that wishes they could play a lot of different champions on stage, or are you one of those players that just wants to play whatever will make the team win?
So I like having the ability to play a lot of different champions, but at the same time, I'm kind of more realistic where it's like, okay, if I'm really strong on this champion or this champion's really good here, I'm going to pick it. I'm not going to just pick Riven because it's like super cool to pick it here and I can just pop off. I'm going to pick like Jax or something I'm better at and something that's better for the situation. So, um, I do have the ability to pull out of champions, but I'm just more realistic about when to pick certain things. And yeah, I'd love to be that flashy player, but I want to be the best, so I try and go for that.
Uh, a lot of people would say that this meta very much suits your style. A lot of the top lane bruisers are back. You're split pushing very, very well, and you're very well known for split pushing. Would you say that this meta is very well suited for you?
Definitely. I definitely say like similar to last year Worlds when it was getting to that time, there's a lot of carries and stuff like that. I'd say it's similar to that meta kind of where you can play a lot of carries and split pushers and stuff like that. So I definitely say it's one of my better metas.
Uh, and lastly, do you have anything to say to your fans? Anything that you want to say after this 2-0?
I just want to say we still have a lot of work to do, and we're just gonna try our hardest to just be really good by playoffs and just get better because that's all we can do. Like we've had a pretty disappointing first half split, but we're just on the path to improvement. So hopefully you guys will meet us at the playoff finals again.
Well, here's to another CLG three-peat. Scar from theScore eSports. You can find more content online or on our mobile app. Thank you guys. Hope you guys have a nice day.